massive challenge against Essendon down in Melbourne.
Yeah, they struck form last week. They were back to their best, moving the ball very, very quickly through the corridor at the MCG. So that's good. I'm glad we're playing the best version of Essendon. That's what we were preparing for, and it's a big challenge for us.
How much does the group look forward to playing at the MCG, and then particularly against a side like Essendon with so many people likely to be at the game? Yeah,
it's good if there's a crowd there. We look forward to every game that we play. All the grounds in the AFL are fantastic to play at. We don't get that many opportunities at the MCG, so naturally enough we're excited to be going there. But it's just like any other ground, really. It's a big bit of grass and some goalposts at the end. So our main thing is wherever we go, we want to put our best foot forward.
You mentioned the Bombers moved it quick. Is that going to be the key, just restricting their ball movement?
Oh, it always is when you play against them. There's that. And they're really good at stoppages. They kicked a lot of goals from centre bounce last week. They've got some really dangerous forwards. So there's a lot of things to think about in a game against Essendon, and you just need everyone playing their role really well to get a positive result.
And Cale Hooker could be one of those forwards as well.
Yeah, possibly. There's some talk that he may play. He could also play down back too. He's an All-Australian defender, so you wouldn't know where he's going to line up if he plays.
Chris, you lost some speed with Zach Bailey. Is that like a big concern, losing that out of your back line against a pretty quick forward line like Essendon's?
Yeah, we're disappointed to lose Zach, but we've got a lot of guys playing really well in the reserves at the moment who are looking for an opportunity. So I'm sure we'll cover for that. And the key thing is try not to expose your defenders to the speed of Essendon's forward line. They're very good at that, and every team that plays Essendon faces that challenge. So our ability to defend up the field and all those types of things will be important.
So some of their outside, in particular, ball users, Shield and these blokes, if they get off the chain, it's trouble for you on that big ground. Is that sort of the focus, or maybe even tagging?
I'm not sure whether we'll tag or not. We'll have, we haven't finished match committee yet. We don't put our team out until tonight. So, we'll give consideration to all those things, whether that's the way we start or whether we move to it if it's a problem to us. But we've done pretty well this year, mainly focusing on ourselves and how we want to go about it. And at the moment, I don't see any real reason to change from that. So that's the way we'll approach the game, and we'll obviously have our contingencies in place if Essendon get on top in certain areas. And I'm pretty sure they'll be doing the same, thinking the same way towards us.
Are you surprised by this start of the year you've had? I mean, aiming for the 4th win in a row. It's a pretty good. Well, the goal for every team, obviously, but.
Well, that's a hard question to answer. If you had have asked me that before the start of the season, I probably would have gone, we'll be doing well to be 3 and zip. But given the way we play in round one, and then, with each game that we've played, sort of applying ourselves to the task at hand, I'm sort of not surprised either, because I think we are an improved group. And provided we continue to play with in a selfless manner, with guys playing their roles and putting in great effort, then we're going to be competitive every time that we play, which is our goal.
Is there new confidence in the team as well? Is there a different sort of feel around the group now?
That belief was sort of coming last year. I think we won 3 in a row last year at one stage just after the bye, and that gave the group good belief, and winning always does that. But you just got to be careful that you don't get caught up in that and forget to get ready for the next game. So that's been our challenge every week, and so far we've been really good at that.
With that though, with the buzz that's on board with you guys at the moment, do you try and dampen the expectation? Obviously, AFL Heartland, they must be so excited. Well, they've said it already this week, but what's your approach? Do you say just let them go for it and just embrace that challenge of what you've got, as I say, at the headquarters?
I suppose internally we don't focus too much on what's been said externally, and we just have a process that we go through every week to get ready for the next game, and that's all we do. On the odd occasion, we might talk to our players about, keeping things calm and staying focused and not getting ahead of ourselves. But so far, the group's been really good at doing that to each other, which is a little bit of a sign of their maturity, I think. They understand the world of AFL and how it can put you up on a pedestal and knock you down from one week to the next. So it's a game like that. We're really aware of it. We've been down for a long time. We want to keep improving, and so that's all we focus on.
And
But
that
this would be a brick in the wall, though, to what you're trying to achieve, obviously, being at the end of the year. Just that, with the guys knowing that they can do it on and prove to the Melbourne guys as well that, you are the real deal.
Well, I'm not so sure about that. I mean, every time you play on the road, you want to try and win. We had a terrific win against North Melbourne a couple of wins ago, which we thought was pretty important. Road wins are like gold, and all teams strive for them. This game this weekend is no different to that game 2 weekends ago from our point of view. It's another opportunity to pit ourselves against a really good side and test ourselves out.
Just on the maturity, I mean, last week, just the way you closed out that game when the Power were coming, is that a mark of where this group sat at the moment?
Oh, it's a reflection of their desire to win. There's no doubt about that. That game was up for grabs and we found a way to do it. So that's something we weren't so good at last year. We tried to the end last year but couldn't quite get there. This year we've been able to get over the line, and maybe it's all those close losses this year that's pushing the boys on and making them understand what's required a little more in those sorts of situations.
Coach, you've said that, you said two things. So far you've mostly been focusing on how you want to play, and you also said it's a pretty selfless footy side. You're going to come to a point, and it might be this week, where the opposition dictates the shape of your side. If they go in short with their forwards, you could conceivably have to sit a guy out who's playing good footy at the moment.
Yeah, possibly.
Possibly.
Possibly, although Darcy Gardner's a pretty versatile defender if you're talking about their forward line. Darcy can play on talls or smalls, and Essendon have played at least 2 tall forwards plus Stringer for all of their games this year, so I suspect they'll probably stick with that structure, and if they don't, well then Darcy's just going to need to be a bit more versatile than normal.
Where does he, we've seen him play on Eddie Betts and Jack Martin and Lance Franklin. And Jeremy Cameron, yeah.
That's why he's a really valuable player, because he can do that.
He's Stringer, isn't he? Is that?
Yeah, I guess he possibly is, but we haven't picked our team yet, so you never know. There might be another bloke in the team that can play that sort of role.
Thanks. I just want to touch on Lachie Neale as the leader in disposals in the comp, 3rd in handballs. I think he's 1st in handball, 3rd in contested possessions. Would you have thought at the start of the year he would achieve that, or is that no surprise?
I don't worry about those sorts of things too much, but if you studied footy, you would have known before Lachie Neale came to this club that he is pretty good in all those areas, and so he's just continued to be good in all those areas, and so from our perspective, no real surprise. What's been sort of a surprise or a pleasant surprise is that he's such a good man off the field around the club and the things he's doing with our younger players to teach them. So he's a fair package, Lachie, both on and off the field.
And one thing that maybe he could improve on, I think his tackle number is about 3.5 a game. That's sort of below average for an elite midfielder.
You want to come and have a talk to him about that? I think he prides himself on his pressure, and I think he was fairly disappointed with his game against North Melbourne in that regard, and I think you might find last week he might have had 6 or 7 tackles, did he not? He's a pretty good pressure player by and large, and he's always one of those guys that looks to find ways to improve.
Fags, we're doing our captain's run at the old home of Fitzroy tomorrow afternoon. What does that mean for Fitzroy fans for us to head back there?
Well, I imagine it'd mean a bit, and I hope that they turn up. It'd be great if they do. We're sort of happened by accident to a degree because we've struggled to find a venue to train at tomorrow when we get to Melbourne, and we sort of canvassed the idea of the old Brunswick Street Oval, and as it turned out it was available, so we thought we'd take the opportunity.